also hosts the show with me, and we appreciate the background that she brings with Eastern medicinal degrees as well as Western medicinal degrees and practices at Banner Health, and also has a cosmetic surgery, which you can find at azmdlaser.com. So we appreciate her joining us on the show as well and contributing in a major way. You'll find out as we continue. We're also joined today by Darian and Jeff, who are well, I guess Jeff is the actual owner of Orange Theory, and then Darian is a practitioner there, a fitness trainer that helps you burn fat like you've never known how to burn fat before. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, sounds good. Now, your location is here in Tempe?
It is.
Okay, very good. So we actually, well, I say here in Tempe, but we're actually Phoenix address here. Right next to Phoenix is Tempe, and so you guys didn't have to travel too far.
So only one location?
In the valley right now there's 6.
Yeah, 6
soon to be
locations.
12 by the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're expanding and growing, and there's a reason they're expanding and growing. And I actually lost 90 pounds. I didn't know about Orange Theory at the time. Now, how long has Orange Theory been around as a franchise?
For approximately 3 years.
About 3 years. I lost my 90 pounds about 4 years ago. So if I would have had your Orange Theory ideas, I probably would have had a little bit easier time, a little bit more fun. So,
You did fine.
but I'll be able to maintain and have a great time. I actually run the Thunderbird Mountains by one of your locations, and so I'll have to stop in and kind of see the format there as well. So,
Nice.
Welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about Orange Theory and what makes
So
it
is
unique.
that a real theory?
Okay.
Orange Theory? Or is it just the name of the club?
No, it's proven. It's scientific.
Could tell us more about it.
Sure. Orange Theory Fitness is the best 1-hour workout in the country. It's interval-based, hour-long workouts, half devoted to cardio, the other half to strength and resistance.
Correct.
And our goal for you is to be at 85% of your target heart rate, 12 to 20 minutes during that workout. If you are, then you get the maximum calorie burn as well as conditioning for your heart.
Very good. And then you also mentioned the muscle building.
Correct. Half the class is devoted to strength. So we use a combination of weights, TRX. If you're familiar with that system, it uses your body weight. We have stability equipment, a variety of different things that we use.
Why is it called orange? Is there a specific reason, or is it just because it's a beautiful color?
We have 5 heart rate zones, and orange being a very vibrant, lively color. We've identified that as the color that we use for the 85%
Excellent.
of your target heart rate.
Okay, very good. So I love that idea. What I did know is that when I got to a certain level, I have this huge theory about many things that I did in the gym. But I'm realizing that one of the things that I did was get my heart rate, and I want to go in there and get analyzed, because everybody's ideal heart rate is a little bit different. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, and Darian's here too, and so I want to be able to have Darian participate too. Well, how do you identify what is the unique best heart rate level and interval situation for each person?
Well, that's going to be different for each individual, like you mentioned. And what we do is we base it off of a mathematical equation to start with. So for men, we'll typically do 220 minus your age, and we'll get your maximal heart rate, and then we base your percentages off your maximal heart rate.
Okay.
So you take 80% off of 200 beats per minute, and we'll be able to find out what heart rate you need to be at in order to be in your orange zone.
Okay.
Okay. And we do the same thing for women, where we take 230 minus your age, and then we'd be able to calculate your percentage based off that.
And you're trying to keep your heart rate that during the entire 1 hour, or up and down throughout the hour?
No, it's interval training. So we make sure that it's going up and down, and that's going to maximize your results. You really only want to be in the orange zone for about 20 minutes maximal.
Okay.
The rest of the time, you actually want to stay in the blue or the green zone.
Okay.
And that's where your body's dominantly going to use fat as an energy source.
Gotcha.
Now, the orange zone, that's going to dictate how many calories you're actually going to be burning post-workout.
Okay.
Even though
So-
that's only 20 minutes.
Even though it's only 20 minutes. See, if I was to tell you to get out the studio right now and to sprint as hard as you can. And that may last for 30 seconds, it may last for a minute. Now, if you take that and you expand it and you're doing that about 20 times throughout the workout, your body's going to need to take in a lot of oxygen just for repair alone.
Sure.
And because of that, post-workout, your body's going to be burning calories up to 36 hours.
That's
Post-workout.
Now I know how to work more effectively to reduce the fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't you wish you knew it earlier? before?
Yes, truly, because I think I got into that orange zone periodically, and that's when I actually started burning the weight. But I mean, when you're all messy about it, it's I like what you're saying, and I really believe in interval training. Could you, for those who have heard the term interval training, make it a little bit more basic? Because I very strongly believe in that. When I do it, I feel the difference in my body. People notice, even though I'm definitely not a fitness model. But even just in my normal clothing, people say, "You've been working out," and the only thing I did was change the way I worked out, not the amount that I worked out.
Right, and basically what you're doing is you're training specifically for your body again. Our bodies are very much like a machine. So if you train at the right heart rate and you're doing the correct exercises, you're going to get the right result, right? And if you relate our body to a car, for instance, you don't necessarily want to drive a car at top speed immediately, or the car can start to break down, right? You don't necessarily want to drive it at a very low speed either. It needs to vary in range to keep the engine nice and healthy. So your body is the same way. As long as you're training at the correct intervals, you're going to be burning fat at an efficient time during your workout, and then you'll be burning fat post-workout. And again, that all depends on your percentage and your intervals during your workout.
I love it.
This reminds me of the eating habit of eating small meals more frequently, which is interval eating or diet. You can call it that way. And the theory behind it is every time you eat, your basal metabolism rate goes up. So if you're eating more frequently, then you have more chance of burning more calories or raising your metabolism rate more frequently.
Absolutely. And that's extremely important. So what you're doing is you're adding fuel to your body at consistent moments. And when you do that, like you just mentioned, you're speeding up your metabolism. And it's the same thing with your interval training. If you end up hitting that orange zone, or let's say you get your heart rate to that 80% within a certain given period of time, you're training your body to speed up your metabolism, to utilize fat efficiently pre and post workout. So yeah, you're correct. Same theory.
Great. Now, do you, the whole time that they're working out, they wear some kind of a mechanism that gives the feedback so that you actually know how they're doing throughout the hour, or do they not have equipment?
No, they do have equipment.
Okay.
They're wearing a heart rate monitor.
There
the
we go.
entire
That's
time.
what I was looking for. All right. So that heart rate monitor, then you, at the end of the workout, they're able to compare what they should have done versus what they did during the hour, and theoretically they're going to match.
Yes, we have an ideal chart of what's expected. Like I mentioned earlier, keeping your orange zone within a 20-minute period during the workout, and then also staying in the blue-green for about 35 minutes during the workout. So we have an ideal zone chart that we would like them to follow, and we are able to match that at the end of the workout to see how they did.
Only because you have the monitor, right?
Absolutely.
And do you ever have people who's older, they're in their 70s, and then they actually don't match so well with your expectation or exceeds your expectation?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So our expectation is really based off the individual. So if we're looking at you wanting to be in the orange zone or the green and blue zone for 35 minutes, then that individual, based off their heart rate, because remember we do that calculation at the beginning, needs to do it based off their individual needs. So for example, a 70-year-old that may have a different heart rate than a 20-year-old is going to be paced differently throughout the workout, but they're still going to hit their blue zones, their green zones, and also their orange zones. It's just the heart rate is going to be a lot different per individual.
And what makes it even more unique is the fact that as you are working out, there are monitors throughout the studio, so you can actually track your progress as you're working out.
That's
as,
great.
As,
I
as
respond
can
to
the
that kind of
trainers.
stuff, yeah.
As can the trainers. So if they notice that maybe you should be closer to that orange zone, they can say pick it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your own self-motivation as well if
And
you should be in that
that's why
zone.
there's peer pressure there too.
A little bit of peer pressure.
Yeah, I'm not so much a competitive person against other people, even though I absolutely love basketball, I love team sports, but I am an individual competitor against myself. So I'm the type of guy who loves to run a little bit faster, to run the mile a little bit faster each time, to do a little bit more, the repetitions, that kind of thing. So I think I would respond well to that kind of thing. I'd love that.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So, how about nutrition counseling? Do you do any of that to be able, kind of like Dr. Lee was talking about, to be able to eat in the right amounts and ways, or is that part of it? If somebody joined your gym, is that part of it?
We do counseling.
Okay.
Now, all of our trainers are obviously certified, but we are not registered dietitians.
Okay.
So we do so within a limited scope.
Okay.
But based off our knowledge, we do give suggestions on pre-workout meals, post-workout meals. Definitely give dietary suggestions.
Okay. And is that all part of the monthly package, or do they do the base rate and then they need to add on certain types of personal training? It's all included in one package?
It's all included in one package.
Very good.
The reason why we do that is we want to build rapport with the client. A lot of times a client's success is completely dependent on accountability.
Okay.
So we want to make sure as a training staff that we're keeping our clients accountable, not only inside the gym, but also outside the gym.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like we're coming in at the end of the show. I appreciate you coming in. We definitely want to say thanks to you for coming on the show by letting you tell the audience how to get a hold of you. So let's get your contact information out there on the air.
We are at 1855 East Guadalupe Road in Tempe, at the intersection of Guadalupe and McClintock. Our phone number is 480-300-5683.
Excellent. And one more time on the address.
1855 East Guadalupe Road, Tempe, Arizona.
Wonderful. And again, thank you to both Darian and Jeff for coming on the show. I'm going to have to come down and visit and bring a few people with me. And make sure that you give those phone numbers a call and go in there and make your life better. So thanks for tuning in to the Ageless Living Show here on World Talk Radio and Voice America.
I'm Dr. Tong Lee, your host.
And we look forward to seeing you in the next segment.